I just swore I had the right vision. I critiqued my whole style, added a little lyricism. It was quite timid. And I'm sure you came here prepared with things you think that I might mention. Nah, we're gonna do this with a slight difference. Your life's ending, pipe lifting, in the school, eyes squinted, light-skinned, bang, till there's no more left in a right kicking, bang. That was one more left in a night smithing, shine on chest, ice pinned it, bang, still get off, white privilege, my mind tripping.
What's up? It's your boy Dylan. This is another episode of Recappables. I'm here with my man France. How are you feeling tonight, bro?
I'm feeling great, man. Just had a fresh battle, a nice little band battle that just dropped, and it was rejuvenating for both of these guys' careers. I'm excited, man. I couldn't talk about the battle as a secret, but I'm glad you guys finally got a chance to witness it.
Yeah, and speaking of, the way you're throwing out, I'm glad you guys got a chance to see it. So how was that energy before this started? Because you were there, right?
Yeah, I was there, and let me say this, right? When I was watching the battle in person, live in effect, all I thought to myself before anything started was like, wow, we've talked about this match for a while, playing around because these guys just had a lot of fumbles and stumbles and chokes. And earlier in the year, in January, when I think Hip Hop Is Real had an interview with Twork, and he mentioned Chess, like, yo, him and Chess has to go down in the near future. He doesn't care that Chess is choking or is having these stumbles. Like, he knows what Chess can do lyrically. He knows who Chess is when he's at his best. So I think it was interesting. Like, I would love to have learned the conversation between the two of them of how this match even came. Is like, listen, we both need this match.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the style clash has been something that has, fans have always noticed the similarities between them, differences between them, and kind of wanted to see them settle it in the ring. I'm glad it happened on band. I will say that. I think the small room for both of them was great. It was. The setting was perfect. I loved the band.
Perfect.
We'll talk about this probably every band battle, but the black background, darkness, that feel, the gritty small room, I love it. And for these two dudes, the way that they rap, it was perfect.
Listen, I think it's important to highlight too. There's like the production of these band battles. Shout outs to JB, and it's like it's such a nitty gritty feel. And that whole weekend, like I just felt a little VIP-ish. I got to witness both the band battles from that weekend. I'm gonna put it out there because URL put out the clip themselves, so I'm not leaking anything. But they had Snake Eyes and Saga with a band battle. And it looked more like a volume battle with the lights on and everything, but it was a one-off, right? And what's interesting about the band battle is that you're at this environment, and I guess people know who's going to battle. Some people don't. And it's just like one big snap of the fingers, like, yo, these guys are battling. Let's go to this room right now. And I'm just like, oh, wow, like, I didn't expect this. Let's see what's up. And it's so, like, secluded, small crowd, controlled environment. I think there's a little bit of gas, obviously, but you get one. If you're giving somebody just one straight battle,
yeah, and I think too, like just being in that small setting and knowing that you're a specific group of people, it already puts a different fuel into the atmosphere of just how special this battle can be. So you're a little quick to jump it at some of the good moments, but I think it's. In this battle, it was warranted. They were fire, both dudes.
The Twork and Chess was right after the Strike 2.5 event. And I thought they were the best battle of the entire night. And a lot of people thought the same thing. Like when we left the room, I'm talking to like a lot of the MCs. They're still there. We're debating the battle and everything. And we're all just like, yo, this is actually better than the entire card.
I mean, it'd be hard to argue that if this was actually on the card, I don't know if it would have got as much love, but the material that they had was undeniably the best back and forth of.
Let me give you a quick exclusive. When I was at the event after Jerry West and Mr. Wavy battled, I stepped out to go find the nearest ATM. Club in Missouri does not have an ATM. That tripped me out. Yeah, right?
Wow.
But we'll get into that another day. So I'm walking down like 2 blocks to go to the ATM, and I'm walking down 2 blocks, and I see Twork actually practicing his rounds, like across the street with like I guess one of his homies, and I see him like in the stands holding a fake rifle, rapping, and I'm thinking to myself like, yo, hold on, is this guy gonna battle today? What's going on here? Because you hear the little rumors in the chirps of like Twork and Chaz, this is that. And I think to myself, like, okay, I just see this guy practicing his rounds down the block away from the venue. Something's happening tonight. Is he a surprise battle? Like, what's going on here? But I kept my eyes peeled the whole night. And so when the battle was finally about to start, I just held my breath the entire battle because I was so like anxious that none of them made like any errors, any stumbles, and there was a little turbulence.
Yeah, but I mean, especially from what we're used to seeing from these two guys, it was nothing. They fought through it pretty well. There, like I mentioned earlier when we talked, but like Twork's second round, we'll get into it. But the length of that round was a little iffy. There was a couple. I mean, I wouldn't really call them stumbles, but I guess a stumble, if anything. Like someone just kind of fumbled up on a word or something, or when they were bringing it back, the crowd reaction like
You know what it
came
is?
back the second time, so it was nothing too crazy. No actual chokes.
You know what it is? They're like heavily disturbed by crowd reactions.
But they're heavily fueled by crowd reaction. Isn't it funny how that works? Like,
Yeah, and then they also kind of will repeat, or at least Chess, he will repeat lines that like he wants the crowd to catch. And it's like, listen, if you want to be intricate, you have to just give it. You have to rap it to the best of your ability. If they don't catch it, play it for the camera.
and that's his whole like think about it. Like he always has that 2-3 moments in a battle where he's like think about it. He looks at the crowd. He's like think about it when they're not reacting at all. And it's like, I mean, are they really missing it, or is it just pander to the crowd at that point? Like pander to the, you have a whole different audience at home that's not going to be there to not catch it, and they're going to sit there and they're going to be hearing the setup differently, and they're going to just catering to the crowd. I mean, to the camera, like pen people do. So if you're going to do the over the head bars, I think, like you said, just direct it to those people and move on. Don't let it really fuck up your flow and throw you out of your groove and that tempo that you have going. But that is one thing both of these guys can work on. But they also get fueled by the crowd when they do get that reaction, especially when they're not expecting it. There's so many times when Twork sounds like he's just talking, and then all of a sudden the crowd erupts on a bar that he maybe thought was just part of like a setup, and then all of a sudden that aggression comes in and he's back to who he was. So the way that they both react to the crowd is interesting.
Yeah, then we at that moment we got to kind of talk about their styles and like, do they want the crowd reaction? Do they not want the crowd reaction? And like, if that's the case, how can they control that? Because I get it, like there's gonna be certain things you can't control, and they're always gonna say that wasn't even the punch, or they jumped for the setup, they jumped too early. But I think the writer, the battle rapper, the performer can control that. I remember when me and shout to Program V, we broke down officials like battle career, when we started talking about her style as she evolved. At one point in her style, she would have 5-bar setups where like she's rapping not just your regular 1, 2, 3 punch. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, and she would extend them. So I guess at the point you're forced to listen. So she'll have like 1 bar, the next bar rhymes, the third bar rhymes, the fourth bar she extends the sentence, but it's still rhyming, and then the fifth bar is the punch. So like it's almost forcing you to not react.
I think it's just kind of the way they write, and I think Twork and Chess are really similar in this regard, where they don't really. I don't think they do stuff differently. Like they don't sound the same. They don't not even close. I would never say that, but it seems like the structure of the way that they kind of pattern things. It seems pretty similar. The way that they come off like slowly and then they build up to a punch, or they start off quiet and then they're loud. They both do that, and they both address it during the battle too. We'll get into the bars where they talk about their style clash, but yeah, it's interesting to see the way that they both work.
I personally thought this battle had a clear winner, so I definitely want to talk a lot about the surroundings of the battle. I guess we could go a quick round for round.
Yeah, because I mean, this one isn't really going to be too bar heavy, and this is one where I honestly want people who listen to go and read the transcription from Genius, to go and actually pay attention to the lyrics of this battle, because that will determine, off of your first watch, that'll really determine how you feel.
I could agree, because lyrically it's probably close, but on a technical point, Chess still stumbles in the first, and in person, that stumble was just a little longer. So shout outs to the editing job. No offense to him.
I was gonna say, yeah, on cam, it wasn't too bad. Like people were making it out to be a lot worse than it
Nah,
seemed
yeah,
on
it
cam.
wasn't so drastic, but in person, it was just the pause was a little longer. He got it back, and it's that battle. You're looking at both those guys like all you want is just for them to not fuck up. So if they had a pause or they had a moment they had to think, like, you're gonna let them get through it. And I think material wise is close, but on a technical point, I'm still gonna edge it to Twork the first round.
Agreed. I had it. Yeah, I had the first round going to Twork pretty clear. That one wasn't too much debating. Even the second round, there's not too much debate there. I think it really gets into the third, and that's the round where I honestly want to pay more attention to the lyrics. When I go back and watch it again, I think I'll probably read the transcription when I watch it that third round again, just because Chess had some slow buildups, but he had some stuff that I thought was really crazy. It
I
just took him a
really
little while to get
love
into it.
not Chess's, Twerk's introduction of the first round, because it was just like, it's one of those moments where it was like utter silence.
Well, you want to just get into the first round now? We can go
Briefly,
ahead and
man,
get right into
I
it.
really liked the beginning,
I mean, we don't have to go bar for bar, but we could
but
just how you felt about Twerk going in there, because he started it off
give
for
me a
us. He got
second
us going.
here. The first line here, where the first 8 bars, going into the white privilege haymaker, they were all multis. So, by the way, guys, Twerk has multis. So we forget sometimes Twerk also is a good writer, because it gets hidden from all of the mistakes he's had.
Yeah, and I think that starting off early in his career, that was one thing that kind of elevated him really quick, was his pen game, and people were like, "Whoa, Twerk's really crazy!" Like amoxicillin, like he actually has some wordplay that, besides his performance, it's really, he does it really well. And yeah, I think that it can get overlooked sometimes with all the antics that are going on.
Yeah, man. And one thing about Twerk's style is he has a lot of transitions. So he'll give you that 1-2, that strong haymaker, and then he leaves. Yeah, yeah. So he gives you an opportunity to give you a lot of, I guess, if you would calculate points in battle rap, which you can't really do, but if you can do that with him, because like he'll talk about, like, for example, what's loaded? This desert is legal. Or you like the Abercrombie bar? How about this American Eagle? Boom, that's one line, right? Then he transitions to the next line, which is the whole about his homie, which was crazy. That line was crazy.
That he did the man, my homie did a 7-year bid and got poked. They told him on his route it was death or jail, and he got both. Like,
you don't often get those bars from Twork to make you go.
You don't, and it's kind of it's like imagery and storytelling at once, and
Yeah.
it's also that talk to him, being real moment. So
He needs to tap into those moments a little more.
yeah, we don't really see that side from Twork. When you see a lot of the things you see from Twork are more pen heavy, and he's more about the bars, and he's not so much about the scenarios, the moments that he's lived through. He doesn't really let you see that side of him as much, and I think being real like that, and those type of bars, he can definitely throw some more of that in there.
I love the ending of the round too. The nose is stuffed. It got sinuses. So if Chess rubbed me wrong, it's gonna be a lot of Vicks.
I mean, there was a
man.
lot in this first round from Twork.
There was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot, and that's a good thing about, like, this was a good redemption battle for both of them. Like, I wouldn't say this is like anything like a top 10 battle of the year, but this is a good battle that makes you re-spark the appreciation for these guys.
Both of them. I mean, Chess has been kind of gone for a while. Twork, some people say, have been oversaturated, but I think both of them have taken different paths through their rough spots. I mean, Twork's kind of just trying to fight through it, whereas Chess took a break. You see what I'm like? Yeah. But I feel like that they've gone through a lot of the same things, and it's just, this was one that we needed to see.
To Chess's round, I did appreciate how much, like, how tailored it was to him, to Twork. Like, when he starts talking about the Goonies, he's like, I'm showing him the young is real Goonies. Oh, it's always the old head trying to stop us from going in. So think about it. If you push me to the last straw, you're gonna have to drink about it. and that's another.
That was
Yeah, and chess
nice.
gives you a lot of those bars, right? So like
Hmm.
that first round, you're getting a lot of like feel from what they both have to say, and chess has its wordplay, but like it's weird. I don't know how to describe chess's wordplay. Like it's not elite,
It's like
right?
it's like
But
a it's like he's reaching, but you don't want to like. Sometimes you don't want to call it a reach, and you're like, but is it though? Like,
it's just not proper because he'll use slang with it, right? And I guess the slang makes it
yeah,
work. So it definitely like you give it the point, but it's like all of it's like a copper weapon. That's Penny Brown. It's a
right,
copper
yeah,
weapon,
and for
huh?
a lot of people that's not gonna work, but
But I guess, but the thing is, he'll. This is my problem with it. It's like he'll open the setup with those kind of like wordplay lines, right? And then he'll have another line that kind of ties back into it, trying to scheme it and make sense out of it. And it's good, but it's just like it's easy to miss. Like if you're like that's why I guess he gets frustrated. For example, I'll start the whole setup over, right? He goes, copper weapon. That's Penny Brown. Copper weapon. That's Penny Brown. It's a copper weapon for not minding his 2 cents. Something leaking out of it. Like that's 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 a line that could very easily just go over somebody's head. But it's a good line.
yeah, I mean, and there was one that I couldn't get, and I'll wait till we get into the round. I don't think it's in this round. But there was one that I didn't until I saw it on Twitter, until I saw it written out on Twitter. I did not get the bar. I was sitting there too, and I paused. I remember pausing it too. But we'll get into it. But some of the things that Chess says, it's not even easy to catch on cam. And there's some things that just the way that he comes off, or his voice
Yeah.
inflection, or just the way that he's trying to say something that I don't. Sometimes I don't get the double, and I'm sitting here on the surface like, what did he mean by that? And then when it hits me, I'm like, oh shit, that was crazy. That's one thing that Chess does a lot where I'm like, and he's like, think about it. I'm like, think about what? What the fuck is he? Oh,
Right.
there it is.
Yeah. So I mean, if that's his style and that's what he wants to do,
Yeah, and he can't
he
like
just has
that
to
whole getting
understand
mad
that
at the
it's
crowd for
not
not
gonna
catching it. You wrote it
get
in like
grasped in the
so that
moment.
they wouldn't catch it. And not so that they wouldn't, but you wrote it really intricately so that somebody would have to honestly be on their toes to catch that. So let the privileged fans and the ones who are, really there, let them enjoy that the first time around, and then the rest of the people will come in and catch it later. But advocating for them to catch it in the building is a little weird when you intended for it to be an overhead.
Right. He ends the bar really, 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 really strong. I mean the round really strong with the yeah, mad at me, acting like he got to the spot as fast as me or faster be when I was everywhere pulling all nighters and never had to sleep. We were trained different. So how is NJT on the same path as me?
Bro.
Oh.
And and when you think about it too, like,
That's the thing too. Yeah, I think I know exactly what you're gonna say. That's a very East Coast,
mhm,
tri-state bar.
mhm,
Like if you're in Texas, you're in Houston,
mhm.
and you've never been to New York or the East Coast, you're not gonna get the bar.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's him catering. We know where they're at. I mean, or well, they know where they're at, and that one. I mean, even if you're not from the East Coast, you should have an understanding, at least somewhat. If you pay attention to battle rap and the New York scene as heavy as some of us do, you'll still catch some of those bars. But I just that was one where I had to reset that one. I had like the double tap on my phone when I was watching the battle. I backed it up a little bit to catch the ending of that because that was more the way he said it than what he said.
Right.
But now let's get into Twerk's second round because this one we don't need to spend too much time on it.
Yeah.
Um,
It
it
was
was
his weakest round.
very short round.
Very short round. I think it was probably less than like 30 bars.
Yeah, it
Honestly.
doesn't even. I mean, looking at the bars just kind of feels wrong. I mean, he gets into a little bit of dope stuff, but then he goes into like he did the imitation of chest throwing up. He said, "We both choke, but hitter, you bold as fuck, and I ain't shine. What you gonna eat my food?" Ugh. And then you throwing up like that was one of the better chest throws up a lot bars, but that's not really too original. It's not anything too crazy, and then he cuts it.
I got a question, man, and I might be behind here, so feel free to help me catch a bar. When Twork says in the second round, "You'll die in the spot like Beijing," right, and that's a punch. What exactly does he
When
mean by that?
you'll die on the spot.
I didn't
Is
catch
he
that. I
referring
didn't
to the
catch that
flag?
line.
Their flag? I don't know.
But the Beijing,
He
yeah, it's
might. That's what
China.
I thought too. He might have
That's what
fucked
I'm
up
thinking.
there. Like, cause I was thinking the same thing. I was like,
Okay.
at first I was like, oh, I was thinking of just the red and white flag with the dot, and then I was like, wait a minute, Beijing is like red, yellow, and black, ain't it? Like something like that.
It's red and yellow with the stars. And see, this is the thing about, like, there's a lot of people that will have those kind of bars, right? Trying to like talk about certain things, and I guess they'll mess up the fact. Twerk isn't one to normally mess up the fact. He'll just take a word
Yeah,
and bend it. Oh, he'll bend the word too much. That's what he does. So he won't mess up the the metaphor, but he'll mess up, or at least he'll over bend a word on his wordplay. So I found that line weird. I was like, wait, what? Dying the spotlight, like, what are you saying here? I didn't catch it. Maybe that's why I'm asking you. Maybe there's something I didn't catch. Or
I mean, yeah. If we're wrong, let us know. But as far as I'm concerned, he meant the flag, and that's China. Like that's, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
there's no way to go. If we're both missing something, then it might have been a movie I didn't see or something like I don't know. But no, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, right though. Twerk normally does. If he's doing anything, it's kind of just
yeah,
really going
yeah.
overboard
Nah,
with
man.
stretching out the sound of a word or a homonym or something. But it's not usually information that he's fucking up on, and yeah, it was a little weird to hear something like that from him,
Mhm.
especially in a round that just overall wasn't as solid as anything.
But you know what? Even though he messed up that line, I want to give him credit, because that this might sound crazy, but that might have been his only simile in the entire battle.
Yeah, you know what? Torque is not a like person. He does not use that word ever.
That
I do too.
I
It's because I,
appreciate
I feel
that.
like it's
Yeah,
easy
I appreciate.
to go ahead and just throw in, you look like you're this like this, or this reminds me of this, and that's not something Twerk normally does. But he
Hmm.
executed it well. I thought that was fire when I heard it until I realized what he said.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna sound fire. All these things are gonna sound fire, and that's a great thing. That's where I guess you can give a bigger advantage to Twerk over Chess, is
Hmm.
that he can sell a bar, and I give points for bars being sold as long as they make sense,
Yeah,
kind
if
of.
it's not as fire, yeah, if it's not as fire, like, but yeah,
But I gotta make sense at least.
you can't be dying on the spot like China. Chess is
Chess's
second
second round.
round.
Boy, this now, like I said earlier, I wouldn't argue this is a battle of the year, but I would argue that this is probably a top
Yes,
15 round of the year. Maybe top 15. I won't go as far as say top 10, but I'll say top 15. But
he broke down Twerk and his slogan in ways that we have not seen and ways that we will never see.
yeah, I actually want to play a clip of that, and the whole setup to that was amazing, because he had one of those lines again that we just talked about, right? Those word, he jumps into his
Hmm.
wordplay. That's intricate, but you're gonna miss it. And guess what? He forcefully repeated the line, because he said, "Nah, this line is too fire. You have to catch it."
Yeah, y'all gonna hear it again.
Let me play this.
Back then. So I'm back then. Take a round and tag him. Basically, I'm coming at him. Take a round and tag him.
I did not get that. I didn't even get that until I saw it on Twitter.
Oh, that's the one.
That's the one. I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, oh my God. And
Yeah,
tag him? Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah. No, I was one of the few people in the building. I caught it the first time you said it, and I was
Mm.
like, whoa! Like, I never thought of somebody would like actually use the at symbol in that way.
And not, yeah, like until I saw somebody put it on Twitter and they put like the actual at symbol, I was like, no fucking way. Like, I should have caught that. I was upset that I didn't catch it the
That,
first
that's
time,
that's
but
what makes a good pen, in my opinion. When you can take regular things in your life, like regular things that you use daily, turn it into imagery and make you understand the message of it. Because how many times when we're on social media and we use the at symbol? How many times we write an email and we use the at symbol? He says, take a round and tag him. Take a round, take a gun round and tag him.
And my thing too is like the problem, like where I fucked up is like because basically I'm coming at him, and I was like, at him, like what does he mean by at him? Is that like a fucking like I was trying to put something together right there. I was like, why don't I get this? And I was totally not focused on the give him a round.
I think the intro of it was a little lazy. Back then, he probably was just like, you know what, this line's too far. No one's gonna care for the
I just
the
need to
lazy.
get something to rhyme it, to get it going.
Yeah, but he ends it strong. Let me because that's just the beginning of what he was trying to do.
Take a round and tag him. Basically, I'm coming at him. He's strapped in, I smash in. Both his hands with a hammer. How you gonna use it strapped in?
Oh my
That
god!
is how you break down a strapped in. You don't do a verb. I'm not strapped in.
You don't try to over. Yeah, that's how you break down the strapped in. You're perfect.
And it was a haymaker too. It was short. If he didn't drag it out too long and try to break down of, oh, you're always strapped in. Like,
you know what's crazy though? Like he also implemented performance on it. Like I think there's a lot of little things about this battle that like you just have to notice for what like pick up for what it is, and you say to yourself like, okay, even if you don't want to overly credit the battle for what it is, they did a lot of little details with like the round structure. Like when he did the whole I'm smashing both his hands in with a hammer. How you gonna be strapped in? So he was moving his hands like as if his hands was wobbly too. That's what made the line.
they looked broken. Yeah, they looked broken for real on cam.
Clip, but the next line after that, that's where he kind of like does the slogan. He goes, "I'll clap him, keep clapping, then reload it. Savage. I talk guns because I actually will blow it." And the aggression he had when he said it is what sold it. Like, because like what he was actually saying wasn't so crazy. If he had said it regularly, it wouldn't have sounded crazy. But the energy,
Nah, and then the rest of it when he goes into
the arm bars.
like he's I'll clap him, keep clapping, then reload it. Savage. I talk guns because I actually will blow it. Facts. I ain't just rapping, hit us toed it. With all these fucking arm bars, I could snap at any moment. Like that was fucking crazy. I don't care what nobody says. You can at me right now, King Snowflake _. If you don't think that was fucking crazy, you're out of your mind.
I love the twerk.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, you like to scream in people's ears. That was crazy too.
yeah,
like,
man. And then he kept going with the rest of his lines. Then he was like, "I gotta talk to this fruit the same way he talked to his peers. Told guns in his face. Now he's speaking to a pair. He's acting wicked witch." And then wicked witch let him to sweepers in the air. It was crazy, man.
that whole like breakdown of Twork was crazy, and then using the whole slogans against him. That was the best slogan flip that I've heard in a long time. I don't even know.
I guess that's what makes both those guys so good. Because the reality is they don't use a lot of similes.
Neither one of them.
They're not really throwing. Yeah, that's what makes the battle so good for what it is. Because it's like you're getting two guys that try to be intricate. They bring their aggression. They bring their performance. They bring their energy. They come with a total package and presence and star power.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one reason that they will always be welcome as rappers in this community. They bring something totally different, and they don't. It's so hard to sound like Twork, and it's so hard to sound like Chess that they will always have a spot because of just how original it is. Everything, their delivery, their writing, everything is just they're different.
Even though they're different, they think alike. Because
them two, I'm saying them two are different than everybody else, but together they're similar. They are very similar.
Yeah, they think alike because Twork opens his third round right with the I done copper hit the ground like penny dropping. This coin side, right?
Yeah.
That whole line.
Yeah.
And then we just mentioned how Chess talks about the top of the first with the 2 cents and everything. It's kind of like they think the same way. They're thinking about coins, pennies, copper.
Twork has the eyes on what do you say, like the eyes on chest, like the Hooters shirt or something like that.
He says, I'm sitting by the bed while he's snoozing, waiting. Sniper rifle, bird eyes on chest like a Hooter waitress.
That was fun. And then Chess goes, "Yo, I swear I wrote that. Like, this man is nice. I don't care what nobody says." He said that. Like, I can hear him say that.
Like,
He's like, "Bro, I
like,
swear I wrote that before. I didn't say it, but I wrote that." Like, he's nice.
So he like acknowledged it, like, "Yo, you think the same way I think." Yo, these guys would be all right for a 2-on-2, honestly.
I would love to see. I was just about to say that. Like, they would they would increase each other's pen game so much if they were on the same team.
Together and actually trade ideas or thoughts and metaphors, it would get really insane. I would love to see just a conversation with those two guys. It's crazy.
Yeah, not even actually writing like 4-bar setups, but just seeing them brainstorm would probably be fucking amazing.
Yeah, man, and Chess has. I love that Chess responded in the third round so well, because the first round was close. Second round, he kind of let it go short, and Chess explodes in the second round. And what does Twork do? He responds. That's what I love the most, when people respond in between the rounds. That's how champions are made, honestly. And
that's one thing that Twork has proven he can do.
Yes.
I mean, we look back at Verb. That was one of the more entertaining battles of the year.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's defeated in the first, and the way that he bounced back second and third is admirable, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's not a fire round if you can't make some gifts out of it, with the whole put a fire to his chest. I'm coming, Elizabeth.
That was nice. That whole the performance on that and everything, the way that he like looked over to the side and he had the pose going. That was cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and then like you said, the Mona Lisa. My pupils follow you around the room like Mona Lisa. I can't believe nobody's ever said that.
I heard something similar to that. I forgot who it was though. That's the thing though. It wasn't as memorable as this one. It wasn't. I don't think it was as good as this. But I've heard something similar. But it definitely wasn't stolen. I would never suggest that. But I can't believe I haven't heard it executed that way, at least.
Yeah. So in total, now that we've gone through it, Twork had a total of 4 similes in 3 rounds.
Jesus.
Pretty good.
That's
good,
really good.
And all 4 of them didn't come with your regular standard setup, and they're all one-liners. Like, they're one-liners that you can quote. So if anything, he's not even creating a simile; he's creating a quotable for you.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of battlers, there will be 10 per round just because it's the way that they rap. And then
10 per round. He gave you 4 per
4
battle.
per battle, right? You feel me? Like, that's insane. And normally, like, I feel like in a lot of people's setups, they have 1 per 4 bars, I feel like, at least.
Yeah, man. And the last 2 things I want to point out for Chess's third, for Twork's third, is I love the NBA bar. He tried to wrestle with
that was
Thunder.
Fire.
He tried to wrestle with the Thunder, but he had to pace himself like all the deep. Oh my god! I can't believe that.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Like, I don't.
That line.
Yeah, that was crazy. Well, how did he set that up? What did he rhyme that with? The Oladipo.
He said, and it's funny because it was a whole NBA link. It was kind of like a whole NBA thing in my eyes, because he said, "I leave, then come back a second time like Grover Cleveland." I thought he was gonna mention LeBron, but he said Grover Cleveland, right? Then he says, Grover Cleveland. He tried to wrestle with the Thunder, but he had to pace himself like Oladipo. So it probably doesn't even rhyme. It's just probably the way he kind of delivers it.
I mean, the way he delivered it was fire. That's why I was reading the lyrics and I was like, wait a minute, did I miss that setup? No, but the way that he put that together was crazy, and it at least sounded like it rhymed at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then how about the line after that? I hold the eagle, split his mug, the 50 upside down. In the club. That was crazy. That was crazy. I saw people posting the pics at 50 from the music video. And everything.
Yeah. And Twork knows always how to captivate moments. The whole pocket tap and Smack. And shouts to Ryder, who also told Smack that same day, let's square up. So the Goonies was just in for Smack. They're tired of it.
Yeah, hey, the Goonies they weren't having it, and I don't know. I thought it was. it's always cool when somebody can come at Smack and actually be fire with it, because it can either make things awkward and everybody's like, "Ooh, yeah, that didn't really land," or it makes things like really fire, like, "Oh shit," like he came at Smack.
Like, yeah, like if B Dot pocket tap Smack, it's gonna be like,
Yeah,
whoa,
it's gonna be
because he
awkward.
just
It's
came
gonna
at
be
the,
like,
it's gonna came with the whole establishment.
yeah,
But
they need to
like,
fight after that.
and I don't want to downplay Chess's third round too much, but like I just feel like Chess exploded the second round, won it clearly. Twork exploded the third round, won it clearly. The first is pretty close material wise, so on a technical standpoint, you have to give it a Twork, and that's where I'm at with the battle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want, yeah, like you said, I don't want to take too much from Chess's third. I just thought in that round he started off pretty slow. His
His Shakespeare line was fire. If you don't want to shake, spare me to talk. Don't go looking for
yeah,
drama. That was
I mean, I don't know if
crazy.
people watch Rocket Power, but that was fire. Like, because he goes through like the Jersey people, and he's like, "I told Suge, got the Jersey hit is that man's the worst. Who am I though?" Like Otto from Rocket Power, that was like the main dude with the dreads. And he's like, "A hitter with enough rocket power to handle surf or pistol whip red. Watch something and oh snap, like he's scared to curse. Get Arsenal clap. Now he's smoking on that Arsenal pack. I just call it a new strain of perp." Like that was, and he just going through all the Jersey dudes, and that was, he did it differently than other people. I didn't hear any like flips that I heard or Suge flips or Arsenal flips really.
Yeah. I think at one point in the round he kind of realized himself like, okay, like I just blacked in the second, and Twork just did the exact same thing I just did. So like, not that he kind of like lost steam, but I think he knew what it was really. I think as a battler, you kind of know when it's just not your
Yeah,
round.
I mean, and you can sometimes, and depending on the battler, you can see that in their face, depending on their defense. Like some of them you can hear them in a round, and honestly, when it's early and they hear that first haymaker, I can honestly, I like looking at their face and seeing like, do you think you can beat that, or are you looking like, damn, I'm gonna have to fight for this? And no, I thought that that big the big increase for Chess kind of hurt him a little bit in the third, because his third wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, before we close off, Chess had a little Dominican bar there. Chess from the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx, so like
Right.
he's probably got to hang out with a bunch of Dominicans somewhere down the line while he's in the hood. And
Oh
he had the whole, you poppy now, you share the bitch, give him
yeah.
the box now, bacalao, that's Spanish fish. And let me just say, like, it was a funny line, like it's one of those lines I just laugh at, and I was like, man, this isn't a fire bar, but it's a funny bar.
And then people too, like when you hear bacalao, like you like that's just a funny word in general. Like it just
Yeah,
sounds,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it just sounds different.
See,
So
the thing with
people are like,
Spanish,
"Oh shit, that's a Spanish fish."
yeah, the thing with Spanish bars, like when you use a Spanish word, it's gonna be funny unless it's like you really made it like, oh shit, that's a fire punchline. But when you go a whole little segment with speaking Spanish, even when it's broken, that shit
Mhm.
is lit.
I like it personally, and I mean, I'm around, being in Texas, I'm around a lot of Hispanic people, mainly Mexican people, who I'm kicking it with, and the slang is different. So like certain times when I hear Cortez speak, like they say things a little differently. Puerto Ricans say things a little differently, but
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
anytime, yeah, same, yeah, like Dominicans, all of it is got its own style. But when when you can hear like when people use like the general words, like just a straight stereotypical, as long as it makes somewhat sense in English, and like when American fans are hearing it, it's gonna be fire.
Yeah, man. So I love the battle for what it was. I was really happy I got to see it in person. The energy of it was great. I want to say, URL, please don't promote no more band battles. Let them be
I mean,
secretive.
yeah, I liked the idea of like when
The rollout was cool for this.
when Jack Boy dropped, though, when the Jack Boy Steams dropped, that was just
Yeah.
a different. We were all kind of like, what the hell is this? And it brought a little more to it. And then when we found out that band was going to be things that the fans didn't know about, things that weren't promoted. I mean, and Beasley even, I mean, he said that they're not promoted until after their shot. So I guess I see them trying to get their views up by promoting it, but I think the feel of these battles,
Like I
they don't
think I
need
will
it.
be. I'm okay with the rollout. But I'm not okay with like
Like,
sneak
like the
peeks.
Saga
Like
one, yeah.
Saga and Snake Eyes had like sneak peeks, and then like I didn't like that because then the
And
narrative
yeah,
was
that one
already
was
out
kind of
there.
from that
You know,
night too, so that was even worse. Like it seemed like it was that night or the day after. And it's like, can you
yeah.
let it marinate a little bit? Let the people who were there get to enjoy that they were there and nobody knew. except for them, and let that battle build up so that when it does drop, you have a chance to to catch the fans by surprise. And I liked that whole idea of band of us not knowing. Um, and I think
Facts.
they could do really well with it. I just don't want them to start just booking battles and not promoting them to sell tickets, but then promoting them to get views, because it kind of takes away. I want it to just come out of nowhere. I like that.
Yeah, well, and what's pretty dope is that now everybody wants in on the band. So
Because and a lot of people, it's the same with the volumes. A lot of people want to get on the volumes in the bands. A small room, kind of secluded. It's a hand-picked crowd essentially.
I will always love the small room one-off setting battles like this,
Mhm.
because you're gonna get an opportunity to get a little performance, great lyricism, good energy, and good crowd participation, man. So
Yeah, man. Shout out to the
this
fans.
this,
I know I've been hard on
this
everybody
battle wouldn't have
lately.
been the same on the stage at all. This battle would
No,
have
and I
not
was
been
gonna
at
say
all.
though, real quick, did you have any different perspectives on Cam than you did in the building?
No, I actually feel the exact same way, which is pretty rare.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. The only thing is, I caught more of the lines,
That's it.
but I just didn't feel as nervous watching it, obviously, because I already knew the results. But like
I
while
feel,
watching it
yeah.
live, I was anxious, bro. I was like, yo, please. I was like, please, nobody choke. Like, that's all I want. And they didn't choke. And I talked to both of them and said, yo, I'm proud. Good shit. And I'm proud of both of them.
A step forward for both of them. It got to show people that chess is still chess, and even though he's been less active than in previous years, he's been working. He's not just sitting there being dormant and not trying to get better or to still keep his pen sharp. And then with Twork, it showed that even with all the bullshit, when it comes to URL, I mean, generally he's here.
I think we overstayed our welcome here. Our Recappables longer than the battle. But this is one that was worth it, man. So Dylan, sign us out, brother.
Yeah, man, that was another episode of Recappables here with the Let's Talk Battle Rap podcast. This was Dylan in France. Man, thank y'all for being with us. Subscribe on all streaming platforms. Hit us up
Yeah.
on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything. Man, hit up the whole team,
Yeah.
everybody. And thank y'all for listening, man.